Welcome to Stars Forever, where Stephanie celebrates the lives of unforgettable people whose presence still shines through the legacy they left behind. This channel is devoted to honoring beloved figures from film, music, television, and culture, remembering their journeys, their influence, and the inspiration they gave the world. Here, their stories continue to live on with meaning and heart. Artist Pat Steer passed away in New York City at the age of 87, leaving behind a distinctive body of work known for its exploration of movement and spontaneity on canvas. She became best known for her waterfall series, a technique in which paint was poured or allowed to drip from above, letting gravity guide the composition. This approach shifted part of the creative control away from the artist's hand and toward natural motion, resulting in works that feel fluid, unpredictable, and alive. Creative approach and impact. Steer's work stood out for its embrace of chance and physical process. Rather than tightly controlling every detail, she allowed color, speed, and flow to interact organically on the surface. This gave her paintings a dynamic quality, often described as energetic and expressive, where abstraction became closely tied to movement and emotion. Her method invited viewers to experience painting not as a static image, but as a moment of motion captured in time. Legacy in contemporary art. Pat Steer is remembered for transforming paint into a living force of rhythm and energy. Her work continues to influence discussions around abstraction, process-based art, and the role of unpredictability in creation. Through her unique approach, she expanded how movement and emotion could exist within visual art. Merle Haggard passed away on his 79th birthday, leaving behind a legacy that remains deeply woven into the fabric of American country music. 10 years ago, this week marks the loss of an artist whose songs captured the lived experiences of working-class life with rare honesty and emotional clarity. His influence continues to be felt across generations of musicians and listeners. From struggle to storytelling, Haggard's life story shaped much of his music. Rising from a difficult early life, he turned personal hardship into songs that resonated with authenticity. Tracks like Mama Tried and Okie from Muskogee became defining works in country music, reflecting pride, struggle, and the complexities of American identity. His ability to translate real-life experiences into simple yet powerful storytelling made his music relatable to millions. A career of lasting impact. Over the course of his career, Haggard achieved more than 38 #1 hits and became one of the most influential voices in the genre. His contributions were formally recognized in 1994 when he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, solidifying his place among country music's most important figures. His voice, gritty, emotional, and unmistakably sincere, helped define the sound of traditional country music for decades. A legacy that still resonates even years after his passing, Merle Haggard's music continues to connect with new listeners. His songs remain a testament to honest storytelling, carrying themes of resilience, regret, and pride. More than just a performer, he became a chronicler of everyday life, and his work still feels relevant today. His legacy endures not only in awards and records, but in the lasting emotional truth found in every song he wrote and sang. 30 years ago this week, Hollywood reflected on the legacy of Greer Garson, who passed away at the age of 91. She remains one of the defining screen figures of classical Hollywood cinema, an era when films were shaped by emotion, elegance, and storytelling at its most direct and human. With her refined presence and expressive performances, Garson became one of the most respected actresses of the 1940s. A career marked by excellence, Garson's work earned her 7 Academy Award nominations for Best Actress, a remarkable achievement that highlighted both her consistency and range. She had a rare ability to portray strength and vulnerability at the same time, often bringing depth to characters navigating love, duty, and personal sacrifice. Her most iconic performance came in Mrs. Miniver, released in 1942. The role earned her an Academy Award and became one of the defining cinematic portrayals of resilience during World War II. The film resonated deeply with audiences of the time, capturing both the uncertainty and quiet courage of ordinary people living through extraordinary circumstances. A lasting screen legacy. Even decades after her peak, Greer Garson's films continue to be revisited for their emotional clarity and timeless style. Her performances remain a window into a different era of filmmaking, one built on strong character work and emotional storytelling rather than spectacle. Her legacy endures not only in awards and recognition, but in the continued appreciation of classic cinema. For many film lovers, she represents a standard of grace and emotional truth that still resonates on screen today. Christopher North, the founding keyboardist of the band Ambrosia, has passed away at the age of 75. His death marks the close of an important chapter in soft rock history, where subtle musicianship and emotional depth defined a generation of music. North was never the loudest presence in the room, but his contributions shaped the very identity of the band's sound. Building the sound of Ambrosia. As a key member of Ambrosia, North helped create the warm, textured foundation that set the band apart. His use of Hammond organ, expressive piano, and layered keyboard arrangements gave their music a rich emotional quality. These elements became essential to the band's style, supporting songs that balance soft rock accessibility with musical sophistication. Music that still resonates. North's work can be heard in some of Ambrosia's most enduring songs, including Biggest Part of Me and Holdin' On to Yesterday. These tracks continue to find new listeners across generations, carrying a timeless quality that reflects both strong songwriting and carefully crafted instrumentation. His keyboard work played a quiet but central role in making these songs feel full, warm, and deeply human. A quiet but lasting legacy. Though he often stayed out of the spotlight, those who knew his music recognized a musician of rare sensitivity and control. Fellow artists and fans remember him, not just for technical ability, but for the emotion he brought into every performance. Christopher North's legacy lives on in recordings that continue to resonate softly with listeners, reminding us how powerful subtle artistry can be when it is played with care and intention. At 60, Scottie Pippen stands as one of the most influential figures in basketball history, even if his story is often told in the background of louder headlines. He was never just a supporting character in the Chicago Bulls' success. He was a complete force who shaped how modern basketball is played. With 6 championships, multiple All-Star selections, elite defensive honors, and Olympic gold medals, his resume reflects consistency and excellence over time. But numbers alone cannot define him. Pippen redefined what a small forward could be, defending multiple positions, handling playmaking duties, and making smart decisions under pressure. His career represents balance, sacrifice, and intelligence on the court. While others often receive the spotlight, Pippen's influence quietly held everything together. Today, his legacy is better understood as time passes, showing that greatness is not always loud. It can also be steady, disciplined, and deeply essential to success. A childhood built on struggle and responsibility. Scottie Pippen's early life in Hamburg, Arkansas, was shaped by hardship that demanded maturity long before adulthood. Growing up in a large family with limited resources, he learned early what it meant to share, adapt, and endure. His home environment was simple and often challenged by financial instability, but it also built resilience. Instead of comfort, he experienced responsibility. Instead of abundance, he learned patience. These conditions did not define him negatively. They shaped his mindset. Every small challenge became a lesson in persistence. Pippen's childhood was not about luxury or opportunity, but about survival and determination. Even without advanced training facilities or strong support systems, he developed a strong internal drive. That foundation later became essential in his basketball journey. The discipline he built in those early years carried forward into everything he achieved, proving that difficult beginnings can sometimes create the strongest foundations for future success and growth. Family challenges and emotional strength. Beyond financial struggles, Scottie Pippen's family life also carried emotional challenges that shaped his understanding of responsibility. He witnessed illness and physical limitations within his household, which created a deeper awareness of care and compassion. These experiences taught him to value stability and support others whenever possible. Rather than breaking his spirit, these difficulties strengthened his emotional resilience. He grew up understanding that life can change suddenly, and that strength often means continuing forward even when circumstances are difficult. His mother's dedication and his father's condition gave him perspective on sacrifice and perseverance. These lessons stayed with him throughout his life and career, influencing how he treated teammates and handled pressure. Instead of focusing on personal hardship, Pippen developed a mindset centered on contribution and teamwork. This emotional foundation later became one of his greatest strengths, allowing him to stay grounded even in the most competitive and high-pressure environments. Education, opportunity, and the turning point at UCA. Scottie Pippen's path to college basketball was not immediate or guaranteed. He joined the University of Central Arkansas, UCA, without major attention or expectations, initially serving in a supporting role rather than as a featured athlete. His responsibilities began in a humble position, where he learned discipline through service, preparation, and observation. This stage of his life was important because it gave him time to develop without pressure. Over time, his physical growth and natural coordination began to stand out. Coaches noticed his improving abilities, and he gradually transitioned from a background role into an active player. This shift was not sudden. It was the result of patience, learning, and consistent effort. At UCA, he transformed quietly but steadily, showing that progress does not always happen instantly. Sometimes it grows slowly through repetition and persistence until opportunity finally aligns with preparation and hard work. Physical growth and development as an athlete. During his college years, Scottie Pippen experienced significant physical development that contributed to his basketball potential. His height increased noticeably, and his body gradually adapted to the demands of competitive sports. However, physical growth alone did not define his improvement. What truly set him apart was how he used his changing physique alongside skill development. He focused on becoming versatile, learning to handle the ball, defend multiple positions, and understand game strategy. Coaches observed his willingness to learn and adjust, which became one of his strongest traits. Rather than relying only on natural size or athletic ability, he worked on building a complete skill set. This combination of physical evolution and disciplined training helped him stand out in college basketball. His transformation was gradual but powerful, proving that athletes are not only shaped by talent, but also by adaptation, timing, and a commitment to continuous improvement over time. Entering the NBA and finding his place. Scottie Pippen entered the NBA in 1987 after being selected in the draft and joining the Chicago Bulls. His arrival marked the beginning of a new chapter filled with challenges and opportunities. At first, he was not widely recognized, and he had to earn respect through effort rather than reputation. The NBA environment was highly competitive, and every player had to prove their value. Pippen adapted by focusing on learning and contributing wherever needed. Over time, he began to establish himself as a reliable and versatile player. His ability to defend, pass, and support team structure made him valuable in multiple roles. Playing alongside established stars, he learned how to operate within a system while still developing his identity. His early NBA years were about adjustment and growth, and he gradually became an essential part of a team that would later define an era in professional basketball. Building the Chicago Bulls dynasty. As Scottie Pippen developed within the Chicago Bulls system, his role became increasingly important to the team's success. He was not just a supporting player, but a key part of the team's structure on both ends of the court. His defensive versatility allowed the Bulls to match up against different opponents, while his playmaking helped create offensive balance. Together with teammates, he contributed to a system that emphasized teamwork, discipline, and execution. The Bulls' success during this era was built on cooperation rather than individual performance alone. Pippen's ability to adapt and support multiple roles made him indispensable. While others often scored more points or received more attention, his influence was present in nearly every possession. His contributions helped the team maintain consistency and dominance over several seasons, making him one of the most important figures in one of basketball's greatest dynasties: sacrifice, injuries, and competitive pressure. Throughout his career, Scottie Pippen faced physical demands that came with playing at the highest level. Injuries and fatigue were part of his journey, as they are for many professional athletes. However, he continued to play through challenges, demonstrating commitment to his team's goals. His role often required him to handle difficult defensive assignments and maintain high energy throughout games. This level of responsibility placed constant pressure on his body and mind. Despite these challenges, he remained consistent and reliable. His willingness to push through discomfort reflected his dedication to the sport and his teammates. Rather than focusing on personal limitations, he prioritized team success. This approach made him a trusted and respected player within the organization. His career shows that success in professional sports often requires not only talent, but also endurance, discipline, and the ability to perform under continuous pressure and expectation. Financial challenges and contract reality. Scottie Pippen's contract situation during his career has often been discussed as part of his broader story. Like many athletes entering professional sports early in their careers, he made financial decisions based on long-term security and immediate needs. Over time, as the value of players in the league increased, his contract became a topic of conversation. However, this reflects a broader reality in professional sports, where timing and negotiation can significantly affect outcomes. Pippen continued to perform at a high level regardless of financial discussions, focusing on his responsibilities on the court. His situation highlights how athletes often navigate complex decisions early in their careers without knowing how the industry will evolve. Despite external debates, his performance remained consistent, and he continued to contribute meaningfully to his team's success throughout his playing years. Challenges, public perception, and personal reflection. At different points in his career and after retirement, Scottie Pippen experienced varying public interpretations of his role in basketball history. Documentaries, interviews, and media discussions often focused on specific moments rather than the full scope of his contributions. While opinions about athletes can differ, his impact on the game remains widely recognized by analysts and fellow players. Over time, he has also shared his own perspective, adding depth to the public understanding of his journey. These reflections are part of a broader conversation about how sports narratives are shaped. Pippen's story shows that legacy is not only built through achievements, but also through how those achievements are remembered and interpreted. His willingness to share his experience adds clarity and balance to discussions about his career, helping audiences better understand the complexity of professional sports and the individuals who shape its history. Personal life, loss, and emotional strength. Outside of basketball, Scottie Pippen's life has included both joyful and painful moments, including personal relationships and the experience of loss. One of the most difficult parts of his life was the passing of his son, an event that brought deep emotional sorrow. Such experiences are profoundly personal and shape how individuals view life, family, and meaning. Pippen has spoken with honesty about the importance of family and the challenges of coping with grief. These moments reveal the human side of athletes, who are often seen only through their professional achievements. Despite emotional hardship, he has continued to remain connected to his family and focus on moving forward. His life outside basketball reflects resilience in a different form, the ability to continue living with meaning even after experiencing deep personal loss. Legacy, recognition, and lasting impact. Today, Scottie Pippen's legacy is widely recognized as one of the most important in basketball history. His contributions to the Chicago Bulls and the evolution of modern basketball are studied by players and analysts around the world. He helped define the role of a versatile, two-way forward who could defend, create, and support at the highest level. Many modern athletes acknowledge his influence on their playing style. Over time, appreciation for his career has grown, highlighting the importance of teamwork and adaptability in success. His story is not only about championships, but also about consistency, discipline, and evolution. As history continues to evaluate his impact, Pippen stands as a symbol of how greatness can exist in both visible and quiet forms. His legacy remains firmly rooted in basketball history, shaping how the game is played and understood today.